It took some real doing, man, but I have finally found a clip of Joe Biden saying something undeniably true, something that's actually reasonable, and something that's believable. Unfortunately, like all other true, reasonable, and believable things, it doesn't actually apply to Joe Biden.
No, my dad had an expression. He used to say, you know your success as a parent when you turn and look at your child and realize they turned out better than you.
Actually, the more I look at it, the more I think about it, I'm probably wrong. I think it's highly likely that Joe Biden is correct. Hunter Biden, Eastern European energy executive, Chinese financier, world-renowned artist, lifetime addict, woman abuser, and now convicted gun felon, probably is still better in every measurable way than his lying, plagiarist, allegedly corrupt father. I think that's probably completely accurate. But here's where we're at, man. The president's son is now, just like the president's opponent, considered a convicted criminal. But I don't really care about that. Here's why that's important. Hunter Biden was convicted mainly because of the contents of the Biden laptop. The same laptop that many intellectually corrupt, riding with Biden type liberals still somehow believe is fake. I mean, they believe that it's Russian intelligence operation. Of course, it's always Russia, but just a reminder of what they believe and why they believe it.
Go ahead.
No, I probably best I don't.
Obviously, we're not going with the New York Post story right now on Hunter Biden.
This is really one of the stupidest October surprises I've ever seen.
It helps to really view this as storytelling, not so much as news coverage, but as political entertainment.
NPR explained, we don't want to waste our time on stories that are not really stories.
Who even thought to make that story up?
It's a story that many intelligence experts say has all the hallmarks of a foreign interference campaign.
It looks like it's tied to Vladimir Putin in Moscow.
This is a Russian intelligence disinformation campaign.
It's foreign intelligence operation.
Foreign intelligence operation.
Russian intelligence.
Rudy Giuliani was not fed passively Russian disinformation. He ordered it off the menu.
This is a classic example of the right-wing media machine.
And he's in the midst of a scandal.
He's not.
And he's taking... Of course he is,
no.
Leslie.
We should note Hunter Biden isn't running for president. That argument has been debunked.
There is no evidence that Joe Biden did anything wrong.
For all we know, these emails are made up.
It just lacks credibility.
Okay, I would love if you guys would start doing that digging and start doing that verification.
No, we're not going to do your work for you.
Character matters. It matters. Telling the truth matters. Being a good person matters.
I don't know why I'm crying.
I couldn't agree with our friend Van Jones any more strongly. I mean, character does indeed matter. Telling the truth does matter. And I think you'll notice to that point that not one of these people has come out and admitted that everything they told us was untrue. They still have not found a way to reconcile the fact that along with their denials, much of social media censored and literally contained the story. I mean, they still have not had a conversation with any of their pet FBI operatives turned propaganda puppets about government involvement in limiting literally what we could say to each other about alleged corruption just days before a presidential election.
The distribution on Facebook was decreased, but people were still allowed to share it. So you could still share it. You could still consume it.
So when you say the distribution is decreased,
it got shared.
How does that work?
It basically, the ranking in newsfeed was a little bit less. So fewer people saw it than would have otherwise. So it definitely...
By what percentage?
I don't know off the top of my head, but it's meaningful. But basically, a lot of people were still able to share it. We got a lot of complaints that was the case. Obviously this is a hyper political issue. So depending on what side of the political spectrum, you either think we didn't censor it enough or censored it way too much. But we weren't sort of as black and white about it as Twitter. We just kind of thought, hey, look, if the FBI, which I still view as a legitimate institution in this country, it's like very professional law enforcement, if they come to us and tell us that we need to be on guard about something, then I want to take that seriously.
Did they specifically say you need to be on guard about that story?
No, I don't remember if it was that specifically, but it basically fit the pattern.
Honestly, man, you almost have to sympathize with Zuckerberg, right? Of course, he probably knows way more than he's saying, But you almost have to appreciate that position. I mean, he said that he viewed the FBI as legitimate, as having, a legitimate interest in actually working to protect the nation when they were sounding the alarms that there might be some sort of Hunter Biden related intelligence operation coming. And honestly, if that's how it happened, if that's really how it all worked, how remarkable is it that really, it's terrifying how easily forces in the federal government can manipulate these powerful people like Zuckerberg. I mean, like I said, you almost have to sympathize with the guy because, at least he's out there talking about it. He's at least recognizing that he got used and that he was wrong. But where are people like 60 Minutes? Where's Leslie Stahl? When is she going to recognize and admit that she's either an idiot, incompetent, or a co-conspirator in the whole entire thing? Probably all the above.
This is 60 Minutes. And we can't put on things we can't verify.
You won't put it on because it's bad for Biden.
We can't put on things we can't verify.
Leslie.
You know what you told me a long time ago when I asked why you keep saying fake in the media?
Yeah.
You said to me, I say that because I need to discredit you so that when you say negative things about me, no one will believe
I don't have to discredit you.
But that's what you told me.
You've discredited yourself.
You told me that.
Leslie, you've discredited yourself. When you say that you're not going to cover Biden, you're going to ask him what flavor ice cream he has, okay?
That's not
Instead
me.
of why did Hunter get $3.5 million from Moscow? Instead of why is an energy company paying your son $183,000 a month or whatever they're paying him, and he has no experience in energy. You discredit yourself. I don't have to discredit you.
So this story about Hunter and his laptop, some repair shop found it. The source is Steve Bannon and Rudy Giuliani.
I don't know anything about that. I just know it's a laptop, and they haven't.
And you're making this one of the hottest, most important issues in your rallies.
It's a very important issue to find out whether or not a man's corrupt who's running for president, who's accepted money from China and from Ukraine and from Russia.
All these
I think
things
that's
have
an important
been
issue.
investigated and
It's incredible the way you can try and say this and sit there and look me in the eye and say it. He accepted money, his family, from Russia, from Ukraine, from China, and from other places. His brother, who didn't have experience, became a big builder in Iraq without experience. Take a look at what's going on, Leslie. And then you say that shouldn't be discussed.
I'm saying
it's the biggest scandal out there, Leslie, and you don't cover it.
Because it can't be verified.
You want to talk about insignificant things.
I'm telling you.
Of course it can be verified. Excuse me, they found the laptop. Leslie.
It can't be verified.
What can't be verified?
The laptop.
Why do you say?
Trump's absolutely right, man. No one has to discredit these people. They have done that all by themselves. No one believes them. I mean, the same people that claim that they can't talk about anything that they haven't personally verified are the very, very same people today telling you that Donald Trump promises to be a dictator on day one, and that if he loses, there's going to be a bloodbath. I mean, these are the same people. So Trump's absolutely right. I mean, they are responsible for their own credibility failures. I mean, and they keep talking about election interference, that it didn't happen. They'll tell you that anyone who claims that there was any kind of election interference is just some kind of crazy right-wing MAGA cult member. But this story alone, I mean, the narratives involved with the Biden laptop, this was election interference. They not only hid the information from the American people, but they did worse than hide it. I mean, they literally led people to believe that none of it was true. And just a reminder, I mean, this really was important. It was an important time and it was an important story.
We're going to have stuff is true about Russia, Ukraine, China, other countries, Iraq. If this is true, then he's a corrupt politician. Right. So don't give me the stuff about how you're this innocent baby. Joe, they're calling you a corrupt politician.
Nobody. President Trump, I want to stay on the issue of race. We're talking about the issue
from hell.
President Trump, we're talking about race right now, and I do want to stay on the issue of race. President Trump,
and I have to respond to that.
Please,
because look, there are 50 former national intelligence folks who said that what he's accusing me of is a Russian plant. They have said that this has all the 5 former heads of the CIA, both parties say what he's saying is a bunch of garbage. Nobody believes it except his and his good friend Rudy Giuliani.
You mean the laptop is now another Russia hoax?
That's exactly what.
Is this
that's
where you're
exactly
going?
what.
This is where he's going. The laptop is Russia,
Gentlemen,
Russia.
I want to stay on the issue of race.
You have to be kidding. Here we go again with Russia.
We're going to continue on the issue of race, Mr. President.
Yeah. So I mean, obviously, once a liar, always a liar. And God, isn't it just amazing watching all this stuff play out? 4 years ago, every single one of us with any kind of basic reasoning skills knew that everything that we were seeing about that laptop and about Joe Biden was true. And now 4 years later, it's undeniable, but it is still not admitted to by any of the people responsible for the con. Joe Biden has lied for 50 years, yet they lift him up as some sort of good guy, paragon of virtue, family guy who ignored a 7th grandchild. I mean, the guy, he's a documented racist and segregationist, yet they believe that he was a civil rights leader. I mean, the list goes on and on and on, but on every single point, the only constant is that everything that they've said that Donald Trump is or would be, these people are guilty of. They said that he would start wars and embarrass us on the world stage. They've done every bit of that and then more. They said that he would destroy the economy and abuse the middle class. He didn't care about the middle class or whatever. They're doing all that right now. And now they're telling you that Donald Trump is going to weaponize justice to go after political foes. It's like irony doesn't even exist for these people, but it's crazy. It's amazing to watch, man. That's just my take, guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And if you haven't already, be a part of our growth. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Most importantly, share the channel. I'll see you in the next one.